Welcome to Portugal. That's right, these two little islands here are literally called the Deserter Islands. They're sitting next to mainland Madeira, just over there.
I did a stopover in Madeira in the 2009 Mini Transat, my first proper offshore ocean race. And I didn't think I was going to end up this close again this year. But, I got a little bit closer than I wanted, to be fair. As you will have seen on the tracker, almost everybody else went to the northern side of the island. That's the best way to get the strongest breeze. And I went into the southern side, partially because the sail change that I did yesterday wouldn't allow me to keep the course that would take me over. So when I changed from the smaller Jenica to the big one, I kind of closed the door, I guess, on the northern option. But also, coming here was about keeping options open, actually, because at the moment the routing is completely insane. Let me show you. So we're up here in Madeira at the moment, and these dotted lines here, those are the routings, and of course these are the boats on the fleet. And what's tricky is that there's one route that goes down here through the Canaries and then down the African coast, and the other one sort of skives off way out into the middle of the Atlantic. And if we zoom out even further, then you can see that there's this huge separation between the options. One all the way through the Canaries and then down the African coast, and actually around the other side of the Cape Verde's exclusion zone. So one goes all the way around here, and the other one goes all the way here. Now what's tricky about this is that there are two primary families of weather models. There is the GFS, or the Global Forecasting System, that's the American one, and there's the European one, which is the European Centre for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, the ECMWF. And what I find challenging here is that they each sort of have their own algorithm, their own satellites, their own sensors, and their own vision of the world. And so as ocean racing sailors, we're used to analyzing between these two different families and figuring out which is the one that's most in phase and which one we should put our weight behind, and which one has the best concept of reality. But what's really obnoxious is that the GFS and the EC, the European one, are swapping, they're alternating as to which time they think the African coast is good, and then which time the offshore one is. So maybe that means that it's a dead weight, like both options are valid. Certainly it looks like most of the fleet is heading out this way on the western option, and that is because in a couple of days, on Friday, there's this installation of this crazy depression here. And that is strange for a couple of reasons. One is that there's normally an anticyclone, or a high pressure system rather than low pressure systems in this place. And so that's completely upset the normal way of reading the North Atlantic. And that means that either way, African coast, middle of the Atlantic, is going to be challenging because the trade winds, the standard winds that circulate in this way, are being completely shut off and destroyed by the passage of this depression. So either way, it's going to be a challenge, and I just need to figure out which challenge to sign up for.